Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who've been here before, and a big welcome to those of you who have come across for the first time to find out what it's all about. My name's Colette. My channel is Inspiring Life Changes. I'm an intuitive tarot reader of over 30 years experience, and this reading today is for Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Venus, Cusp and Rising Scorpio. If you don't know where those placements are, Scorpio, and I'm sure most of you, many of you do know where your sun or your moon or your rising are by now, but if you don't, there is a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out. And also for those of you who know where those placements are, but you may not know exactly the degree of where they are, so you may want to go and have a deeper look at what's going on with your own astrology there as well, because that does give a bigger understanding of what's taking place in the outer world at this time as well, actually connecting it to your own personal experience through the astrology can really help you understand things on a much deeper and much greater level. So I'm not an expert astrologer at all, but I do understand, I do have a rudimentary kind of understanding of astrology. I have been interested in astrology since I was very small, from about 12 years old when I first started looking into it. So it's been in my life for a long time, and I have learned to understand the different aspects, etc, etc. So which is why I think that it's very important for people to have a deeper understanding of their own natal chart. It's the blueprint for your life when you come in onto this planet. So Scorpios, this is a general read. It's not going to resonate with all you Scorpios out there. Hopefully it will resonate with a lot of you Scorpios. Hopefully you'll be able to take something away from it, learn something from it perhaps. Also for you cross watchers as well who are interested in a Scorpio, are in a relationship, want to be or have been in a relationship with a Scorpio, you may want to just be aware that this could unfold as your story rather than the Scorpio that you're actually interested in or listening to as well. So just be aware of that energy there as well. And I just want to say before I start a really big thank you to all of those of you who have watched my Libra love video, which I put out recently. I was astounded, to tell the truth. It's over 200 views in one day, which is just amazing for me and a real shock. So thank you very much to all of you who have watched it, and thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel from watching that video as well. It has gone up, like for me it went up quite phenomenally. It was kind of like, wow, that's a big leap. I know it's nothing in the bigger scheme of the YouTubers that have been doing this for a long time, but for me it was a really big event. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, and also for all of your likes as well. The likes really do make a big difference, and I really do want to stress that as well. The amount of likes, which is why all YouTubers go on about please like our videos, because it does make a difference to the algorithms, the way it gets picked up when it gets put out there. It has a longer lifespan. The more people who like a video, the more notice the algorithms take of it. So that is also a big boost for me as well. So Scorpio, the reading set out in 3 sets of 3. We're doing past, present and future. Your past representing what is now happening with your energy now, which is going to lead into your future, because nothing is disconnected. There is connection with everything, even though the past may go back to your childhood, or it could be something that's happened quite recently, or something that's kind of hanging around, lingering from some other experience that you've had during your life as well. These things can come back, particularly if we haven't dealt with them as well on an emotional level. But this is a general read. So I'm starting the read off with one of my angel oracle cards for you, Scorpio, and we have Listen Deeply here, which is interesting because it came out also in the Virgo read the other day. So if you've got any strong placements of Virgo in your natal charts, you might want to listen to that reading as well. It may have some significance for you there. But listen deeply is really literally saying listen to yourself, go within. And it's very interesting because that does come out quite strongly in this reading itself as well. So it's saying trust that inner voice, trust what you're hearing, listen to yourself, know that you have the answers within you, know that you are the one who you need to listen to. It's not about outside energy here. It's not about kind of, in some ways it's also, you can not to ignore other people if other people have got input, or if other people have got an opinion, then that's fine. Listen to what they have to say, but then listen to how that resonates with you for yourself. Does it feel right? Does it not feel right? Because this card is saying that you have at this time the ability to change a situation, maybe something that you have been putting off for a while, maybe for fear of taking action, not knowing the right course to take. This card is saying that you do know on a much deeper level what it is that you need to be doing here, Scorpio. Also, the figure that is standing behind this person here, which we will say is you, Scorpio, here, is also, for me, it could also be somebody who you have a connection with who's no longer here, no longer on the physical plane, but this person also wants to give you some advice, or also wants to let you know that you're on the right track. So it's also saying that, you know, as you listen to yourself, you can also be tuning in to this person, this loved one that has come through to help give you some understanding and some guidance at this time, and just some encouragement to move in the right direction and trust your own inner knowing. So, first card we have is the Two of Pentacles here in reverse, which is an energy of kind of having to make the right choice. And this could also have something to do with this as well, although this is the past energy that we're talking about here. And this could be something that you are stuck still having to kind of think about. For me, I always see this card as being like past and future. Like staying in a space or an energy of what you know, what you are familiar with, what you kind of on some level have learned to trust, because it is something that is, well, it is familiar, it is easy in some ways, it's something that you've kind of got used to. Or there's this energy of moving into something new here. Trusting, again, that kind of direction, that new approach, but it is in reverse, so it does feel as though it was a difficult time to make that decision, and I feel that maybe even that hasn't actually changed at this time, Scorpio, that you may still be in this kind of like knowing that you have to kind of move forward with something, but still getting pulled back into this energy. And that could be anything that's having quite a strong connection with you still, something that you still feel attachment to with this energy, something you don't really want to let go, but at the same time you know that you can't take it into your future, but you may still be in that energy at this time. We also have with this, let me get this around the right way, I'm really bad at this, the 8 of air, or the 8 of swords, which I am seeing today as you kind of, it's like removing yourself from this situation, because this is a mental level energy, this is a thinking energy, this is the mind, this is the kind of, can even be games that the mind plays. It's kind of throwing in all these different options, possibly with all these feathers here, and you not being able to make the right choice. But it does feel as though you've kind of like, how can I put it, like you've, it's like a feeling of, where it does feel like removing yourself to try and get a bigger understanding or see things clearer, like more clarity or understanding about this. But at the same time it feels as though it's still keeping you trapped in this, like what you were hoping was going to bring you some clarity actually hasn't helped all that much. There's now this feeling of kind of having got yourself into a situation of being stuck and not being able to see the way forward. But interestingly, you also have the 8 of wands here, or the 8 of fire. And so the 8s, 2 8s, and somehow I see these feathers as turning into these lanterns or these lamps here, almost like light bulb moments, almost like sudden realizations of something. That you went from being very kind of stuck in this energy into this very much more kind of, now that makes sense type of energy, because there's 7 of these here, and she's got this one here which she's like kind of creating. So it's kind of like a mini manifestation energy in a way for me. This 8 of fire today is how it's coming through. Of you kind of, but it's coming through more as a realization of something. Like suddenly realizing. In just light bulb moments, it's like, yeah, like ding, 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 so kind of, and like each one kind of connecting the dots in a way. Like suddenly just like all the previous experiences or the previous actions that you've taken kind of all lit up, all kind of connected, and you kind of suddenly having this realization. Possibly even this realization of what it is that you need to do next in this, or the step that you need to take forward in your life. But there is some interesting energies here, because in your present energy we have the 6 of earth in reverse, and what's coming through for me more than anything else is just this huge antler here. It just looks really big today for some reason, like monstrous in a way, almost like blown out of proportion, monstrously big. And It's kind of connecting again with this card in the sense of it being, it could also be connecting with this card as well, because I'm seeing this today and I have no understanding as to why it's come through like this for me, but it's come through as like listening, like really, like almost like a it's strange, almost like the old kind of telephone thing that kids do, where you kind of connect two tin cans or yogurt pots or whatever, and a kind of piece of string between the two, and you kind of, one goes off one place and the other, you know, depending on how long the string is, and you kind of talk into it and listen, and that's how it's coming through. And I have no idea why, Scorpio, that is why that's coming through like this today. It could have something to do with needing to listen on a deeper level to your own judgment, your own it just looks today for me, this antler just looks so misplaced and so kind of like out there, almost like taking on too much of other people's opinions, too much of other people's ideas, and it's kind of caused this this balance not to be balanced. Whatever you were trying to balance, it actually has made it worse. There's less balance here, it feels like. So this is where your future energy, or sorry, your present energy is. And then you have, straight after the Six of Earth, we have the Seven of Earth here as well. And today, usually I see him being very kind of caught up and distracted with this little fairy creature down here. But today I'm seeing his focus being very much on this here, which is also, for me, kind of reflected in this energy as well. And I don't know whether this is also to do with the messages, the realization of something, seeing something clearer. It is in reverse. They are both in reverse. But again, it's kind of something about this and this, which is kind of to do with listening, not to yourself, but to other people. And it's like, it's not helping, or it hasn't helped, it still isn't helping. Because the Seven of Earth can also represent like a dilemma, like having to make a choice about something. Still this dilemma, and that's what's coming through for me here, a dilemma of kind of, again, which, whether you can trust something, whether something is actually as it appears to be. And also today I'm seeing this now also as one of these as well, which may be why you're kind of in this stuck, or you have been in this stuck energy of not trusting. I'll turn them both up the right way, even though they're both upside down. But I'm seeing this here, this same kind of tricycle pattern here as well. As one of these, and it could be, because it's in reverse, it could also be that it is the kind of this one here, which is also kind of more dimmer and kind of in the past here. And maybe this fairy here is trying to distract you to kind of bring in this energy, but you're caught up in this energy at this time. You're still kind of caught up in that past energy here. Because the energy that we have moving in is the Hermit. So there is this kind of need to go within. You're kind of coming to that realization, I feel. I feel as though you're kind of realizing that you need to go within yourself to find the answers that you're seeking in whatever this is about. Whether this is to do with yourself, whether this is to do with something outside of yourself. It's like this realization is dawning that you have to be responsible in some ways. The Hermit energy can also be seen as a kind of growing wisdom about something, about seeking deeper knowledge, understanding, looking for answers. And there's all these keys at the bottom here which kind of represent the keys to unlock something within yourself here, Scorpio. And if you look carefully as well, you can see that this face, this little face here, kind of poking out within this doorway. So it can even be a sense of kind of you retreating. This is you kind of retreating. It feels like this is you retreating back into this space, behind this door. You're going behind rather than being in front of it. You're looking for answers. And you're kind of realizing that listening to everybody else is not giving you the peace or the balance or the equilibrium that you're kind of seeking at this time. Which is what you're really wanting with this Two of Pentacles here as well. To get things back in balance. Within your life, within yourself. And so the future energy is the first card, the Strength card, which again talks to me about balance. It's about balance of the masculine and the feminine within your own energy. Learning when to be more forceful, more direct, more, not aggressive as such, but more kind of, yeah, direct about something here. Or whether to kind of take this more softer approach, which is also a strength as well. Not everything has to be done in this kind of much more forceful, aggressive, reactive way. But there can also be this energy here where you can actually kind of think things through, or take a kind of softer, kinder approach to something. And straight after the Strength card, we have the Ten of Water, the Buddha energy here. That peace that you're seeking, that equilibrium that you're searching for. Ten of Cups energy, inner happiness. It's like that happiness that you kind of find within yourself that you can then find outside as well, rather than trying to find it always on the outside and being disappointed. But it is upright, so it is saying that you are reaching a point of inner happiness, of contentment, of satisfaction, emotional contentment, emotional satisfaction with your life, with yourself. But then we have two interesting cards here as well. We have the Messenger of Water in reverse, which is the Knight of Cups energy here, and we also have the Five of Earth energy here as well. So there's quite a lot of Earth energy in this reading. Earth being the physical domain, your environment, everything that you can feel, see, touch, hear, very much your physical body as well. And the Messenger of Water represents the signs of the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio yourself, and Pisces energy. But again, I'm seeing it as this is very similar to this energy for me today. It's coming through as this kind of sense of like turning away from something even. Yeah, turning away from something. Finding your happiness within yourself. And then maybe something else is going to come in here. But I don't feel as though you're going to take much notice of it, Scorpio, because of this energy here, which is saying to me that this is kind of something fading into the background. And again, I feel it as this energy here, this same energy. Whatever this particular energy here was, and whatever this is about as well, somebody may be kind of trying to make you an offer here. Maybe trying to tempt you out of your kind of cave energy, if you like. You're retreating, where you're kind of finding yourself and your happiness. And somebody's here kind of saying to you, look, you know, I can give you what you're looking for, but I don't feel as though you are going to take that or go with that or trust that. I just feel as though this is that past energy, that this is whatever was here is going to be kind of kept here, like you're going to keep this energy in your past. You're not going to allow it into your future environment. Is how it's coming through for me. So let's do some clarification, Scorpio, and see what else is happening here for you. So, 2 of Earth for Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Venus, rising. I would just also like to say that at the bottom of this deck we have the Moon card in reverse. So there is a kind of sense of confusion. But again, when the Moon is in reverse, for me, it's the dark moon. It's like not reflecting. It's dark, it's underneath, it's kind of subdued energy, also energy of searching. The new moon is going within, more reflective, and that seems to be quite a strong theme in this reading. And also, unfortunately, it's not there now, but at the bottom of this deck, before I started shuffling, we did actually have the Hermit twice again. So it really does seem to be quite a theme, Scorpio, at this time, if you kind of taking your energy back is kind of how it's feeling. Taking your energy back from something. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse over the top of the Two of Earth here. Again in reverse, reluctance, maybe not wanting to have to do this, but we've also got the Moon energy here as well, which is interesting. But it does feel as though you kind of had to make this decision to leave whatever it was behind, but you didn't want to. It's like I see it as you kind of taking a few steps forward and then kind of being drawn back into this energy here of not releasing or not letting it go. That the attachment to whatever that was very strong. So you're kind of trying to move away from this into calmer waters, which you, I feel, are going to achieve, but it wasn't an easy thing. It hasn't been an easy journey. It wasn't just like a smooth, like, I'm out of here. It doesn't feel like that at all, Scorpio. It feels much more kind of like step by step by step. Decisions having to kind of be re-looked at as you were making them. But I do feel as though you did take yourself out of the situation, but that doesn't mean that you completely disconnected from it. And we have the Eight of Cups and the Moon again. Very interesting. And they all came out together. This card fell out first and then these two followed. So there has been a lot of emotional turmoil around this card, I would say. Or not this card, sorry, this situation. Again, this crab down here for me always represents an energy of not being direct. And that's what I feel that this was also about as well. This kind of moving away from something and then kind of going back towards it again. Just to see, just to sense, just to kind of, with the Moon energy here as well, this kind of strong emotional attachment. Both of these cards are very emotionally charged energies. The Moon being the ruler of Cancer, which is kind of represented here with this crab. The King of Cups being an energy, it is again the water energy, your own energy, Scorpio, as well as Cancer energy and also Pisces energy. So it is the water, and of course water flows and kind of it can be held by any vessel as well. So water will form into any shape that you put it into. But also there's something else that was coming through with this energy here. It does feel as though this has kind of been a mature, like you had to kind of make this from a mature place within you. This wasn't something that you just suddenly, like a sudden decision. It wasn't a sudden decision. This was something that you kind of, like I said, step by step, and each kind of step that you took, you kind of grew into it more, like on an emotional level. It kind of matured something within you. And that there has been a lot of growth around this situation. You've learnt a lot from this situation. Even though it has not been, I don't feel as though it was easy for you to. Actually, it's not a crab at all. I thought it was a crab, but it's not. It's actually a cat, which for me actually looks like a crab today for some reason. but it is a cat. Usually there is a crab around the King of Cups somewhere. There's a dolphin leaping in the background. But yeah, this kind of, I just get this sense of being drawn backwards, forwards and backwards here. I kind of keep testing the energy to see whether or not it had changed. Oh, not taking all of them, I'll take this one here. We have the Six of Wands over the top of the Eight of Air here. This sense of you kind of removing yourself out of this situation with this Six of Swords as well. So it's a bit glary. I don't know why it's so glary. Yeah, so removing yourself out of the situation step by step, but at the same time, it made you feel like it was the right thing to do. You were on the... It felt right. It felt like you had made the right choice, made the right decision. Almost like putting yourself out in the spotlight somehow, or in the limelight. I just get this sense of, for you, it feels good, or it felt good. Like a sense of freedom somehow as well, even though there was this sense of being trapped at the same time. It felt like a freedom, like an escape from something. But at the same time, it feels as though there was something else that was kind of trapping you, like in your mind, in your head, like something that wasn't going to let this rest. That you couldn't just, it just feels like you couldn't walk away from that past. It also possibly could be that you feel as though there was a lot of people relying on you here as well. That making the decision that you made, there was a lot of people kind of reliant on your decision, relying on the choice that you made. Or a lot of people waiting to see which choice you were going to make, which way you were going to go. It just feels like a lot of people. She's surrounded by a lot of people here. And she's kind of handing out all these flowers. And it kind of feels to me as though this is you, Scorpio, in this dress here. Red dress, this witch in the centre here, who's kind of being very focused on. Like it could have been a work situation where, or family, it's like a group situation. Like a lot of people were kind of hanging on this, even though it was a very personal decision for you. It was very personal. It didn't involve all these people, but it felt like there was a lot of energy involved in this or around this that were going to be affected by it on some level for some reason, kind of all waiting to see. which is interesting because we've got the Five of Wands here as well. And the Five of Wands, for me today, this is coming out as kind of too many cooks spoiling the broth in a way, because they're all kind of making spells, wishes, and kind of this bubbling cauldron here is kind of overflowing, and there's like fires being lit all over the place as well. So often the Five of Wands can be seen as a card of kind of facing your own inner demons. It can be a card of self-doubt, of not believing that you are doing the right thing. But again, today I'm seeing it as this similar energy here of too many people involved, too many different opinions, and maybe that's also what this is about as well. Just listen deeply to yourself. Too many outside opinions on your life is how it's coming through, which is also why I feel I've got this Six of Earth energy here with this massive, what for me is feeling like a, maybe it's like a horn, like, you know, one of those hearing horn things. Perhaps that's what it is, but that's how it's coming through. It's like something that is kind of like you're taking too much notice of other people, and it's kind of imbalancing your own inner understanding of something. And this has come out, of course, over the top of the Eight of Fire as well. So maybe this is also something to do with, I was saying, like these light bulb moments, all these different connections. Maybe you suddenly realized that this is what was happening, because we also have the Strength card here, which for me in reverse is talking about strength being used against you, your own strength, like you not being able to find that inner strength, that strength that you need to be able to make a decision or listen to your own knowing. And it is just coming out as too many cooks spoiling the broth. Too many voices. Too much confusion. Possibly even too many, like, because your strength's upside down here, so maybe you felt overstretched as well. Like you were having to give too much to too many, and you couldn't do it anymore. It was just too difficult. It was just draining. All these different kind of, I feel like all these different demanding aspects of people's personalities is how it's coming through, Scorpio. And you kind of suddenly realizing this, having this kind of light bulb moment of kind of like realization here. As I was saying earlier, this realization of what exactly was happening to you here. But because your strength here was in reverse, because you didn't have that inner strength, you kind of carried on with this Six of Earth energy, this listening to everybody else's opinion, even though you maybe didn't want to. And that's also what the Seven of Earth is kind of saying to me here as well. Because you have the Magician card come out over the top of this as well. So the Magician card is a powerful energy of realizing that you are actually in control of your life. That all this outer chaos, all this outer kind is coming through is like this chaos, like too much noise, too much kind of babble. And that could also be what this was about as well, like you having to kind of take yourself out of this situation. Remove yourself from all of that inner and outer noise that was just kind of creating more chaos rather than actually helping lessen the chaos or lessen the kind of difficulty of making the right decision. But the Magician here is saying to me that you kind of took back this power. And it's interesting again because I'm seeing it as this here, this light here. So I was saying this was all of the above, there's 7 of them there, and this last one, the 8th one, is the manifestation here. This realization, this manifestation energy, which I'm also seeing as here in this Magician. It's like a kind of sudden understanding, I'm saying light bulb moment, something kind of just clicked within you, Scorpio. That this was your life, this is your this is your future, this is your life, this is your pathway, your decisions. And so I feel as though you kind of feels as though you kind of took that strength. Yeah, because over the top of the page, or sorry, over the top of the 7 of Earth here, we have the Page of Swords, which for me today is coming through as this total kind of sudden, like almost like a, again, this realization, this kind of ta-da moment, this kind of like, I get it kind of thing. Because you also have this sword here as well. And the Magician for me is all about kind of understanding how we create our story, our life, what it is that we attract in to our life is what we kind of expect or believe. On some level, it can also be about what we believe we deserve as well. And when you've got this kind of going on, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of disbelief in yourself, then you're not going to attract something that's going to be particularly helpful. It just feels like a lot of chaos was in your life. But this energy here is saying to me that it's like you suddenly woke up and saw the truth for what it was, or you suddenly had this kind of, yeah, this sudden, again, realization, you kind of, this sword, brandishing this sword as if to say, you know, I've got it. See this? I understand. It is a page, so it's a kind of early understanding of something that needs to kind of go beyond that level of initial understanding, because he's got all these books down here as well. So he's seeking greater understanding, he's seeking knowledge, he's seeking wisdom, he's seeking clarity, he's seeking or he's growing. He's also growing as he's seeking all of this wisdom, knowledge and understanding. He is learning and growing as he goes, as he experiences. All the pages are young, childlike energy, which need to be kind of nurtured and able to grow. And I feel that this is what you did. I feel as though it's kind of you, Scorpio, taking back your power here. Even like with this here as well, like, because it does, again, resemble for me this same energy here, this kind of listening, this horn, this kind of like, but here it feels as though it's kind of shrunk, as though it's kind of you disconnecting from all that chaos a bit more. Which is why I think you went into this hermit mode as well, which may have been a situation where you feel as though you're kind of forced into it. The hermit energy for me can also be an energy where you're just not as connected with things that you will have been connected with in the past. It's like you can be with the same group of people, the same group of friends that you've had in your life, you know, you've all grown up together, or family, or but there's something that's kind of missing now. It's like you no longer feel as though you fit in with that same energy anymore, particularly when it's upside down as well. There may be this sense of, well, I just don't belong in this energy anymore. I just kind of like, you know, I'm just not I'm on a different level now. I kind of see things in a different way. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Fool upright, and we have the Five of Swords. All over the top of this Hermit in reverse energy. So, as I was saying, this could well be you feeling like you don't fit in. Because this is kind of like an energy of completion of something successful, something that you've wanted for a long time, something you've worked hard to achieve. But when it's upside down, it's like you don't feel as though you belong in this energy anymore. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel comfortable. You don't feel as though, and that's why like this little head here is kind of retreating behind this door. It's like, no, this isn't where I want to be. And so you have taken this leap of faith into something new, following your own instincts, trusting, listening as well to this inner voice. With this Hermit energy, going within, withdrawing. Which I feel has been a big step for you, a big, you know, she's just about to leap off this cliff. It's a big step to walk away from something that has been familiar, that has kind of, again, it feels like this energy here, as I was talking about here, this kind of energy that's been pulling you back into it. And you having to kind of remove yourself. Oh, there's also another card here. I didn't see this one, which is also attached. The Queen of Swords in reverse. So when the Queen of Swords comes out in reverse, she can be seen as an energy that is not particularly forthcoming, an energy that's not, it's kind of quite harsh, it's quite blunt, it's quite like matter of fact, it's kind of very precise about things. And it can be also in reverse about cutting things off, things that no longer work for you. There's a sense here of going from this Page energy to this Queen energy. But the Queen energy, you could be in this energy because of this Hermit energy here. It's like you no longer want to be involved with the same things. You no longer want to kind of the things that in the past, as I was saying, that you could, you know, you felt attached to, or that you resonated with, that same energy, the vibration with the same people, the same group of people. Again, could even be family. But now it's like something has shifted within your energy, which I feel that you're still kind of trying to come to terms with here as well, with this Hermit energy. You're still trying to work this out for yourself. But this is how you're being viewed because of this. It's kind of being viewed in some ways as being selfish. When the Queen of Swords is upside down, she can be seen as being a selfish energy, just kind of very focused on herself, not having a lot to give to others. And it also has the Five of Swords in reverse here as well. So it could be that it feels like, you know, it's very similar to this situation here. I'm seeing it as the same energy in a way, with these five. Like, by doing what you're doing, it's a kind of sense of, you know, people are going to be feeling wronged by you because of it. Is it upside down? I don't think it was. People are going to be feeling wronged by you. That's how it's coming across for me today, that they're feeling, you know, possibly let down, possibly that you know, you're not even that you're not the person that they thought you were. There could be lots of conflict, there could be lots of arguments here, but it feels more as though it's kind of arguments between them rather than with you, because it just feels as though you're kind of retreating away from all of this energy and just kind of leaving them out there to kind of get on with it. And that's possibly part of what they're seeing, because the thing is, when you know, when you shift your energy, people tend to find it very difficult to accept, because they're so used to you being one way that when you become something else, they have to shift. They have to change their energy. And people don't always want to change their energy, or people aren't ready to change their energy. So people will stay in this same place here. With that same energy, and they kind of expect you to do the same, even though you're changing, you're shifting. There's something, the Hermit, I often liken the Hermit to being the caterpillar and the butterfly, the kind of, and funnily enough, I was talking about this with a friend of mine yesterday, how the transformation that takes place, because this is a transformational card, the Hermit as well. It's a graduation energy as well, if you like, a kind of like up-leveling of the knowledge and the wisdom that you've gained so far. It's kind of like, you know, a bit like going to university and getting a degree, but it's a slightly different way of doing it. Although it could involve people having those experiences as well, but that's not so much what's coming through for me today. I don't feel that that's so much what it's about, as it's more about a personal experience for you, Scorpio. This leveling up energy, that all of this is kind of trying to maybe make you feel guilty, even make you feel as though you're not supposed to be doing this, that it's not fair on them, that you're letting them down. Because they're not ready. They're not ready for it. So with the Strength card next, I feel that that's what happened from this Hermit card, because you've gone from this Strength card here feeling as though all of your energy was being used against you and not knowing the right way to respond or react to something. So you would react rather than respond. So you would get angry a lot more quickly. And I've just seen the Death card on the bottom there as well, which of course is your energy, transformational energy. And of course, Scorpio anger can also be renowned for being extreme as well. Scorpios can be very extreme in their nature. But it just feels as though you went from that energy of not feeling as though you were strong, or that you had that inner strength to be able to do what was right for you. And over the top of the Strength card here, we have the Chariot in reverse. And the Chariot energy for me is a situation of trying to balance things out, trying to again, that kind of feminine, masculine energy as well. The head and the heart. Balance, middle path, rather than going too far to one extreme or the other. It talks about being in control of your life, being in the driver's seat, knowing where you're going, knowing what you want to do. But here it's in reverse. So there is this kind of feeling of not knowing which direction to take, of being in this, again, it could be because of all of this stuff here, that not knowing which is the best thing to do, move forward into something new, or to stick with something from my past, something that I know and understand here. And I feel that that's this energy here again. And this is kind of when you were needing to really listen to your own inner voice as well, and your strength here. And to close off from the outer. And to not to go to one extreme or the other, to try and kind of find that path, that middle path that was going to keep you balanced, keep you focused on whichever path you were going to take. Because it's not so much about going one way or the other, it's about whichever path you take, staying focused and being balanced within yourself. To not allow yourself to be pulled one way too much by your emotions, so that you can be kind of manipulated as well. Because there is a... Oh, that's interesting. That card was already upside down. I didn't realise that. The Eight of Cups. So I do feel as though you walked away from this situation, that you found that strength that you needed to be able to walk away from being pulled into as well. Because that's what's going to happen if you decide to go, both ways, with the emotional kind of, almost emotional blackmail in a way is kind of how it feels on some level. and the struggle and the fight with your own mind about it all as well, or the logical reasons as to why you should do something, the questionings. But you've walked away, and I feel as though that's what it's saying. It's kind of like, you know, you were being tugged in half, pulled in two different directions here, and you decided to walk away from both and just kind of walk your own path here. Find your own happiness within this all. And of course you have, or you will be. You will be, because we have the 10 of Cups straight after this energy. So this is what you've got to come in as you walk away from this 8 of Cups, with this 8 of Cups energy, as you're walking away from all of that with the strength to do it, no longer being prepared to be pulled apart. We are finding you walking to find this. This is what you're walking towards. You're walking towards this happiness. You're walking towards your inner satisfaction and contentment for yourself, not for anybody else. Because if I hold all these cards up together, this is how it comes out. Which is a great energy, because it's saying that you are finding your own strength within you to do this. As difficult as it has been, you are doing it, Scorpio. I will just quickly say as well that cusp Scorpios, you're going to be at the 0 degree of Libra, moving into the Scorpio energy. So if your birth is 0 degrees, then you might also want to check out the Libra energy read before that as well. And if you're the other end, you're going to be 29 degrees moving into the Sagittarius energy, which I will be putting out there later as well. So you may also want to watch that video as well if you're 29 degrees birthday. So the 7 of Swords has come out over the 10 of Cups here. And the 7 of Swords can often be seen, a lot of readers talk about the 7 of Swords as being a very deceitful energy. Somebody who's not being open and honest here. And that could be true, because you may feel as though you're having to hold your cards close to your chest, that you can't explain yourself at this time. You may not want to explain yourself at this time. It is in reverse. So you may feel that if you give people ammunition, they're just going to use it against you. So you're better off keeping things not so much deceitful or hidden, but just kind of not expressing yourself fully, not expressing this kind of newfound contentment even. It's interesting because here he's got 5, I'll turn it up this way, he's got 5 swords in his hand, and often these are seen, the character is seen as holding 5 swords, and also kind of, there's often 2 swords lying on the ground, which sometimes he's trying to pick up, other times he's kind of just looking at them as he's walking away from them. But you do have this 5 of Swords energy here. And it is, as I was saying, it is in reverse. And I kind of feel as though it's connected with this kind of feeling, you know, that you can't be open and honest at this time, because it will just upset your inner contentment, your happiness, your equilibrium, your newfound sense of joy from within yourself. And it feels as though you're kind of closing yourself off from giving anything away. Also these two swords as well here, these kind of two swords, crossed swords, can often represent that idea of arguments, of kind of like, you know, crossing of swords, arguments, disagreements, strongly held beliefs that people argue over, and can completely what's the word I'm looking for here, can completely destroy other people's lives because of them as well. And that's how it's coming through. It's like this Two of Swords is something that is very kind of like, almost like no compromise, not just no compromise, but no doorway, no opening, no, like whoever this is representing, it's like, whether it's representing this energy here, which I feel it is, kind of feeling of lots of different opinions, but it's like, it's very closed energy is how it's feeling. It's like it's very closed, it's not going to budge, it's not going to change its mind. It's like, this is how it is. I know this is how it is because I've lived it, I've experienced it, so I know for a fact that this is how it is. This person is it feels like very closed-minded, or this group of people are very closed-minded and all very kind of connected within that as well, which is why I feel that you feel as though you're having to kind of keep your because the swords here for me are representing thoughts, messages, opinions, ideas, all those kind of, you know, mind connected things. And here you're holding 5 of them here, and that for me is representing you literally holding back. It could be holding back communication, it could be holding back expressing. And of course we also have, as I was saying earlier, we also have this Queen of Swords here as well. So I do feel as though there is a lot of, at this time, non-communication, which on some level may not be helping the situation, because that can also kind of bring in this moon energy as well, where people are confused by what's going on. They, you know, so they kind of try to work it out for themselves, or try to kind of come to some logical how can I put it, like some kind of logical answer to something that's actually a very emotional situation. So, of course, straight after this we also have the Messenger of Water and the 5 of Earth, which I feel is this kind of something coming back from your past, something being offered to you from your past. This kind of representing the emotional energy, as well as this kind of group. It's like this group thought here, and this is kind of you feeling quite kind of small here. Or possibly actually it's the other way round. But it feels like it could be like a, you know, like an olive branch in a way, a kind of reaching out, something reaching out to you to try and kind of draw you back in, is how it feels. So let's see, Scorpio. Why is the messenger of water and the 5 of earth here, please, for Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Venus, rising, and, okay, and cusp. The Lovers in reverse. The Lovers doesn't necessarily have to be a person. The Lovers can also represent a situation. It could be a family situation, something where you've grown up with love. It often can also represent the need to make a decision about something, or the energy of that particular situation, or if it is a person, as to why it is that, what it is about them that attracts you, what it is. But it's in reverse, so I'm feeling as though there's a kind of sense of like, you know, whatever it was, whether it's a family situation, it's like it feels as though it's no longer vibrating at the same energy level with you on an emotional level. That you're no longer feeling that connection, you're no longer feeling that that sense, yeah, I just get this feeling of this sense of connection. If you see here, they're kind of holding hands. And they're both very similar looking as well. If you turn it up that way, you can see they're both kind of wearing the same thing. They're both in stripy tights. They're both kind of wearing green cloaks and robes and pointy hats. And, you know, there's something kind of very mirror-like between the two here. But this feels as though there's more of a disconnect with this card in reverse, like something is disconnecting. Again, it doesn't feel, to me, it doesn't feel like a particular person. It feels more like you're disconnecting from something that may have given you that sense of what am I getting here? That sense of belonging at one time, but it doesn't give that to you anymore. You're not feeling that sense of belonging. It's almost like the wrong tribe is kind of how it's coming through, which I was kind of picking up with this energy here as well, with this 10 of like no longer feeling that the same energy connection, the vibration's different, something shifted. That's very interesting, because we also want to get some clarity on this Lovers card here. It's actually come out with this 2 of Swords, which I was talking about earlier here with this 2 of Swords. And it does feel as though in reverse as well, that it is about something that's very closed-minded. It is about something that's very kind of in a way kind of self-centered as well, is how it's coming through here, Scorpio. But it's not about your progress or your experience, your path, your life. It's very much about how it affects them, is how it's coming through. As I was saying, you know, this kind of, where are we? Going back to this Two of Swords energy here. As I was saying about this, it feels very closed off, like no what's the word I'm looking for? Like no not just compromise, but even kind of no understanding, no, like no chink of light, no kind of like yeah, it just feels very closed, like the lid's down, it's shut, it's kind of like, you know, this is how it is. So let's just see quickly what the Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, Jerry Hicks cards. Abraham Hicks is a entity that is channeled through Esther Hicks. A lot of information about Abraham out there online, on YouTube itself. The law of attraction. Which came out with this magician energy as well earlier for you. This is very much that energy, the law of attraction. What am I putting out there? What am I receiving back? And it says, I can gradually change my vibrational frequency, which is very appropriate, I think, Scorpio. I think that's exactly what you're doing. And that's exactly what you've been doing, or are doing at this time, should I say, because of this Hermit energy here as well. I feel that that's what this is about. It's about changing your vibrational frequency, and you've been doing this step by step. It's been an ongoing process for you for quite some time now, but it has caused some ructions in your life elsewhere because of it. So there is no thought that you cannot eventually have, just as there is no place that you cannot eventually reach from wherever you are, but you cannot instantly jump to a thought that has a vibrational frequency very different from the thoughts you are usually thinking. So it is a step-by-step process, is what it's saying. It's saying that the more you focus on one kind of thought, and I feel that that's possibly also what this is about as well, that the thoughts, the vibrations here are a lot lower, that you are raising that vibration, and as you're doing so, you're kind of walking away, leaving those that aren't vibrationally connecting with you anymore and moving into something else. But it is a process. That's kind of what it's saying. It's a process, you know, it doesn't just happen instantaneously. It is something that is a process to get there, and that you have kind of started that process and you are moving in the right direction. Even though, like I say, it may have been a difficult path and a difficult kind of, and that's what I feel as well, is that, you know, all of that energy was kind of keeping you trapped in that same vibrational kind of lower frequency where you were trying to get beyond, trying to kind of climb out of that energy, and kept getting pulled back into it. So it was kind of like you knew that you had to do something about that, but it has taken some time. So Scorpio, I'm going to leave your reading there and say I really do hope that it has helped you somehow. I really do hope that you've got something from it. If you have, please could you like up my video for me. As I said at the very beginning, it really does help. And it doesn't seem like a big deal. I know it really doesn't. Just liking up a video doesn't seem as though it's important at all, but honestly it truly is. It makes such the biggest difference to YouTube creators, and you know, those of us that are trying to get our videos out there into the bigger world of YouTube, for people to kind of see them, for them to be recommended on other people's channels as well, because that helps enormously. A recommended video is much more likely to get people to come back and watch it and look at their other videos as well. So again, thank you very much to those of you who have liked up my video recently. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And also to those of you who have subscribed to me again. If you haven't subscribed to me, please could you also do that as well, because that really does help to grow my channel, get my messages out there as well. And there is a subscription button on my videos, and that will open up the bell so that you can make your own mind up whether you want to kind of tap that bell and get the videos as and when I put them out there. I do all the new moon videos, full moon videos, both astrology and tarot for them, and also all the zodiac signs, although sometimes it kind of takes a while for me to get round to it because there is kind of a lot of things that I'm doing in between as well. So your patience is greatly appreciated too. There is a lot happening this December. A lot is taking place. I am doing my astrology write-up now, and it is big energy. Hopefully I will be also able to do a bonus video for Libras out there, and also a bonus video I think for Aquarius as well, because I think Aquarius video has kind of reached over 200 as well over the last month. So thank you very much. If there's any Aquarians watching who have watched my video, thank you. I really do appreciate that. So for Libra and Aquarius, keep an eye out, because there could well be bonus videos coming, but I do want to get these done. The upcoming solar eclipse is a biggie for me at this moment in time. So please take really good care of yourselves, Scorpio. Again, I really do hope that it has helped you somehow. If it has, could you also share this video with those people who you think may benefit from it as well. Take good care of yourself, take good care of anybody else around you at this time that you can, and hopefully I will see you again soon.